Hey, what's up people? Game for Days back once again. And today I'm going to do a quick topic video and shoot off all these topics that have been happening that I haven't made a video on. So, we'll start off with PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR has been announced at $399. That's not including the camera, so for people like me without the camera, you got to fork out an extra $40. Of course, you know, Xbots and the like are making a huge deal out of this. Like, oh my gosh, there's hidden costs. There's hidden costs. The only hidden cost is the camera, and the camera is, you know, you can pick it up for $40. So the total package is going to come out to $440 for people like me, and to me that's a great price. I mean, this tech is, you know, brand new. It's still emerging. So the fact that PlayStation and Sony are coming out with the most affordable headset. A headset that has the biggest potential install base already in the PlayStation 4, you know, somewhere around 40 million units. That just tells me there's a good chance that that's going to succeed, has the highest chances of succeeding in the emerging, you know, VR market. So we'll see about that. For me personally, if the games are there, then I'll pick one up. You know, I'm all about the games. I'm not like a tech head guy who's going to pick up every new piece of tech. But, you know, like I said, if the games are there and things like Rigs look really good. Rigs looks like it could be a lot of fun. VR Worlds from Sony London looks pretty fun. There are a couple good looking experiences already, so keeping my eye on it. And it's something that I'm interested in looking into more in the coming months. We'll probably see more on that for E3. Alright, and up next we have studios closing. Microsoft has recently shut down Lionhead Studios, and Sony has closed the doors on Evolution Studios. Let's talk about Lionhead first. Lionhead is a studio that this news doesn't surprise me about either studio, but for Lionhead, I mean, Fable as a series has been on a quality decline. The best entry in the Fable series was the first one. 2 was worse than 1, 3 was worse than 2, and then you had that Fable, was it called Heroes or something like that? That Kinect one. And then you had, you know, Fable Legends, which was free to play, and it just, you know, development looked pretty rough on that game, and I can imagine people's interest wasn't there because the Fable franchise is waning, the quality has been waning. It's just not a series in my eyes that needed to continue. The quality wasn't steadily increasing like, you know, a series should. So that doesn't surprise me, and you know, the hype for Fable Legends didn't seem to be there. So this news didn't surprise me. Fable Legends canceled, Lionhead closed down. It's a shame. Hopefully those developers, you know, find jobs quickly. Fable 1 to me was an awesome game. Actually really liked Fable 1, so it's too bad that happened. Fable 2 was good too. Fable 3 kind of sucked for me, but it is what it is. And then there's Evolution Studios. Sony closed Evolution Studios. This news, I guess it surprised me. It shouldn't have surprised me because Drive Club was, you know, kind of a mess. It had a botched up launch. You know, it didn't have all the features that was promised. It was delayed. But ultimately, it sold over 2 million units, which surely Sony had to have thought that was some type of success. 2 million units. And it had incredible support. You know, after it launched, it was supported incredibly. I mean, I don't know if there's been any game this generation that has received support the way Drive Club has. It received new maps, new tracks, you know, weather, events, things like that, and it turned into a quality racer. I picked it up on a Black Friday. It's sitting on my shelf right now. I mean, it's a great game. I made it pretty far into like the career mode, the tour mode. The game is just awesome. Incredible graphics, you know, incredible weather effects, just awesome, amazingly presented racing game. And it's a shame this happened. I also have MotorStorm 1, Pacific Rift, and Apocalypse 2, and they're all awesome games. I mean, Evolution has made some quality games in my opinion. So this is really a sad thing, and I hope this doesn't become a trend for Sony, to where they're going to just start, you know, cutting the fat on their studios that don't produce these huge 10 million sellers and, you know, turn to third-party partnerships in Call of Duty. I'm not interested in that. Let's say Dreams comes out and it doesn't do gangbusters. What if Sony cuts them, you know? things like that. So if that turns into what Sony does, then I'll be gone. I mean, I support Sony for their unique experiences, their unique studios, and if they're going to be cutting studios, then, you know, I'm not necessarily going to be a big supporter anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. Business decisions still have to be made, and that's the reality of it. Next up, we have anticipated PlayStation 4 exclusive RIME. The rights have been shifted back to Tequila Works. Sony has dumped the IP, and apparently, rumor has it, demanded their development kits back from Tequila Works. And going by a post on NeoGaf, a poster who apparently had worked at Tequila Works prior, claimed that basically there was no game, there never was a game. Everything we've seen of the game has just been some, pre-rendered CG trailer, completely pre-made, using nothing, no assets from the actual game, no clips from the actual game, nothing like that. Apparently, the whole thing basically was just a concept. I mean, could have fooled me. It did fool me, actually. Pulled the wool over all our eyes. The thing looked like a game. I mean, how deceiving is this to, promise a game like this and release trailers like that and not even have there be a game? I mean, crazy. So, on one hand, I'm disappointed because I was really looking forward to it. On the other, don't be disappointed, guys. There was never even a game. It was just what we saw was just a CG trailer, and that's all it was. It was like watching a Pixar movie or something. You know what I'm saying? We were never going to play that game. So, if anyone, blame Tequila Works. Sucks, but it is what it is, and it begs the question. How do we need to have game reveals from here on out? Because it's getting ridiculous. Things like RIME need to go away. I look at the way Sony's doing things, and they're getting better. Horizon was good, a nice, beefy gameplay demo with a target window. That's fine. Something like The Last Guardian, again, very good, beefy gameplay with a release window. The way I see it, we need to stop having these companies just fucking announce their games whenever the fuck they want to. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft is guilty of this shit. Microsoft, because they're getting their ass kicked so much, they've been announcing their games so far ahead of time, desperately trying to, keep people's interest. Like, hey guys, please don't forget about us. We have some games. I mean, look at Scalebound. Look how long this game has taken from announce to release. I mean, that game has taken forever. Look at Recore. Recore was announced at E3 2015. It was announced, we're going on a year of Recore, and we have not even seen a screenshot. Look at Crackdown 3, same thing. Announced, and barely anything has come out from it. Phantom Dust, Vaporware. I mean, Microsoft has been guilty of this. Sony is getting better. I like to use Bethesda as an example in Fallout 4, but that's not realistic because Fallout is a massive franchise. For things like a new IP, you gotta let it bake a little more. You have to give it a little extra time in that marketing oven, because something like Horizon Zero Dawn isn't immediately recognizable. You have to, plant that seed in people's minds and have it go through the marketing process. But something like an Uncharted, for example, it should follow the Fallout formula. Announce it at E3, build up incredible hype for it, and bam, it comes out that holiday. That's ideal. The other way is, announce it and it shouldn't come out more than a year and a half later. If you announce a game, I want to be playing that game in a year and a half, period. Anything longer is just too long. It's too long and it's ridiculous, so the industry needs a change when it comes to that, big time. And finally, rumors of a PlayStation 4.5 are beginning to surface. Both Kotaku and Eurogamer have reported that a PS4.5 is real, and it is indeed coming. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It sounds like this will be coming relatively soon. Not too surprising. Sony's always released a revised console. I think the rumor that it's going to be more powerful than the PS4 is really what's driving the controversy and driving the discussion. A lot of people are, scared. They're hesitant. They think they don't want, a mid-generation boost in power. They want their one console to, last the entire life cycle, just one console. But people, I think a mid a mid-gen console revision could be a good thing. I mean, games are taking so freaking long to make. I think if you release your revised console and it has a little extra power, you know, it could potentially extend the life of that console. So the PlayStation 4 has the base model. 3 years later, 4 years later, it has the revised slim model with a little extra horsepower. Just to ensure that, you know, games are continuing to perform well on the PlayStation 4. And theoretically, you could have the PlayStation 4 last a good long time and have a good life cycle because of that mid-gen refresh. I think it could potentially be a good step to having, you know, a PlayStation, then a PlayStation 4.5, then a PlayStation 5, and they're all backwards compatible. You know, it's all the software is backwards compatible. And I think that makes the most sense with these long-ass development times. We need to, at this point, start moving to consoles that are compatible with one another, and that it's just a logical leap in power every few years. I think that makes the most sense. I'm kind of over these console generations where they're locked off from one another, and then developers have to learn brand new hardware, and these games take 3-4 years to develop, and we're going to be sitting around for years waiting for good games. We're going to get a couple good games, and then boom, the new console's out. No, I think that's kind of an old model. I think it's time to move forward, and I am interested to see if this rumored PS4.5 is going to have a power boost. And kind of hoping it does. I think that would sound interesting. I think it would extend the life of the PS4 so long as the original base model, the model that we all have, the model that 40 million people have, is the base for game development. When done right, I can see, you know, a PS4.5 with extra power being a really, really good thing. But we'll see. We will see in due time. Hopefully E3 brings the answers. I think my next video is probably going to be something for E3 predictions, state of the console war pre-E3 like I did last year, something like that. So something for E3 I want to do soon, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Game for Days, signing out.